Thank you for being here today. It's honestly, such an exciting day. One of the Lake County Board's most vital responsibilities is investing in infrastructure that supports the well-being of our communities. Oftentimes, roads, bridges, and buildings are the first things that come to mind when you hear the word infrastructure. But there's a resource that is needed for something people can't live without, and that's water. Access to safe, reliable drinking water is something many people may take for granted, but behind every glass of water is a system of infrastructure that needs care, attention, and thoughtful management. Lake County has made it a priority to modernize aging water infrastructure. This project, the Pekara Lake Michigan Water Connection, is a shining example of that commitment. It represents our willingness to plan ahead and make decisions that will benefit our residents not only today, but truly for decades to come. Through this project, we are bringing a new, clean, and reliable water source to families and neighborhoods who have waited a very long time for this change. I want to take a moment to appreciate just how fortunate we are here in Lake County. We live next to Lake Michigan, one of the largest sources of fresh water in the entire world. Communities across the country are paying billions of dollars to access water. As Member Frank will reference in the remarks next, the cost for Lake County is a very small fraction of that. We have a responsibility to be good stewards of this incredible resource. Lake Michigan water is high quality, sustainable, and ideal for many households, from appliance longevity to water softness to our peace of mind. The decision to bring Lake Michigan water to the Pekara and Horatio Gardens neighborhoods reflects our broader strategic vision. It aligns with Lake County's long-term planning and reinforces our belief that implementing modern infrastructure is a foundation for equity, sustainability, and for public health. I want to thank everyone who played a role in making this possible, from my fellow board members and our dedicated staff in Public Works to our local partners in Buffalo Grove, and especially to the residents who supported this project every step of the way. Today is a celebration, and it's also a reminder that when we invest in our communities, we invest in our future. Thank you. And I'd now like to introduce Board Member Paul Frank.
Thank you, Jennifer. Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here to mark the progress of this important project and to reflect on how strategic investments are shaping a stronger Lake County. Infrastructure projects like this one don't just happen. They do require vision and collaboration and, yes, funding. I'm proud to say that our Public Works Department brought forth this opportunity that was nearly shovel-ready, which was a requirement for any American Rescue Plan Act funded project due to the tight timing deadlines. The County Board recognized the value of this effort, and we allocated $1.1 million in ARPA funds to bring the project to life. One of the most meaningful outcomes of the project is customers will not be charged connection fees or special service area taxes. Across the country, it's common for local governments to ask residents to shoulder some of those costs. But here, thanks to the ARPA funding and Lake County's commitment to responsible budgeting, we were able to ease that burden. From the very beginning, the Lake County Board made it clear that ARPA funds must not be used for short-term fixes, but for long-term, meaningful outcomes. That meant investing in projects that build resilience, improve quality of life, and set up our communities for the future. And that's exactly what this water connection does. It brings Lake Michigan water, a sustainable and high-quality water source, to neighborhoods that were previously reliant on wells. From the big picture point of view, this project ensures that these communities are part of a larger, more reliable water system that can meet the needs of the community for decades. It's a long-term solution, and it's one that was only possible because of the foresight and strategic planning by our county. I want to recognize the collaborative efforts that made this happen, our Public Works Department, the Village of Buffalo Grove, and our contracting team partners. And most importantly, the residents. We thank you for your engagement and support. It's a privilege to see projects like this take place, and we know that we're making a real difference in communities. Thank you. I don't know who's next. I'd like to introduce County Board Member Mara Altenberg.
Okay, thank you very much. I am super excited. This is my district, and I'm so excited. We've been waiting a very long time for this to happen, and I know it's a super happy day for everybody who lives in this neighborhood. So that's how my speech starts. It's a very exciting day for our community, and I'm honored to stand here alongside our partners and neighbors to celebrate the progress of the Pekara Lake Michigan water connection. As someone who serves this area as part of my district, I know how important this project is to our community. I'm just going to add in, like, every door I went to this last election, this was the number one thing people talked about. They have been waiting and really trying to get their message to the county that this was a priority for them. I've had the opportunity to hear directly from many residents at public meetings, through phone calls or out in the community, and the message has been consistent. They want access to clean, reliable, great-tasting water. And today, we're very close to delivering that. This connection means more than just new pipes in the ground. It means peace of mind. It means being able to turn to the tap and trust what's coming out. It means not worrying about water hardness or smell, or whether you'll soon need to invest in expensive maintenance. It's a new chapter for these neighborhoods, Pekara, Inverary, and Horatio Gardens, and I couldn't be more thrilled to see it moving forward. I want to highlight how engaged and supportive the community has been throughout the process. We held a community event in 2023 that I attended to discuss the project, and it was inspiring to see so many people attend. We had over 100 people, ask thoughtful questions, and show a genuine interest in how this change will affect homes and families. That level of engagement makes a real difference. It helps us deliver better solutions, and it reminds us why we do this work. We couldn't have done it without our partners. The Village of Buffalo Grove has been an outstanding collaborator, and our Public Works team, along with their contractors, has managed this complex project with care and professionalism. I want to thank everyone involved for their dedication. Finally, I want to thank our residents. Their voices have been heard throughout this process, and their support helped make this a reality. I look forward to the day soon when we can say that Lake Michigan water is officially flowing to our neighborhood homes. And, I want to thank everybody for their patience. Water is key to our everyday life, and we use it for so many things. And Lake Michigan water is a really special thing in these parts. And if you have it, you want to brag about it because it is such a good water source for a lot of us in this area. So I'm very, very, very thrilled and excited that we now are able to give this neighborhood something that they've been longing for a very long time. So thank you. I would like to introduce our county board member, Ann Main.
Well, I'm not sure there's much left to say. The first three speakers really covered it, but I got invited in front of a microphone. So I had the privilege for 20 years to represent this area. I thought it was really appropriate that it was raining because I think one of the early times I really engaged with residents over there, I had raincoat on, rain boots, and we were filling sandbags and with all the flooding. So it's an area that's always had a special place in my heart. I really got to know people well then. I think what this is a great example of why you never give up, right? That you think things will be difficult and 20 years ago, it was very difficult to get Lake Michigan water, all right? If you were not part of Click Jawa, if your town did not already have it, the county could not add unincorporated areas that they represented to get Lake Michigan water. That was another early battle long ago, and I'm glad that's not a battle anymore. I'm glad that we recognize that we have a responsibility to our broader community, that we have resources, that we have shepherded well, right? With water conservation, people use a lot less water, so those allocations go much further. And so that is really important. It shows how actions that we do, small actions that we do over time, accumulate, and we can bring the benefit to other people. So I'm so grateful that staff and the residents and other people never lost sight of a goal, because when you were ready and we had these things, as Member Frank said, we were ready to spring into action and get this done. So I just want to thank everybody here in this room, and there are many people who had worked on this project who've retired and things like that. So I'm still here. So I'm just glad that this is done. I'm very excited for the residents. And I really appreciate the diligence of staff, the cooperation of different communities that came together over time and said, this is something we can do. And this is something that we owe our fellow community members. So it's a great day. I wasn't told if I was... Austin, huh? All right, well, it's my great privilege to introduce our Director of Public Works, Austin McFarland.
Good morning and welcome everyone to this great opportunity. I call it a celebration for the residents in our southern water system, the Pekara system as it's commonly known. This is a great opportunity for us to just give you just a brief summary as to what has transpired in this project. It's been a long time in the making, several years, as Member Main pointed out, that we have kind of struggled through to get the system up and running, and we've gone through the planning, the design, the exhaustive funding process, and today we have construction that's finalized at this particular facility. And this project benefits the residents in the Pekara subdivision, Inverary, and Horatio Gardens. And what we're doing is that we're transforming these folks who are currently in well water system to Lake Michigan water. And we've done that in partnership with our friends and partners in Buffalo Grove and the Northwest Water Commission. So we're excited about that change today. The water that we have there today, and I want to make this clear, that the well water that these residents are served with are current, the water quality meets both IEPA and US EPA standards. And our goal as we move forward with this new source is to continue that commitment to provide quality water to these residents that meet both IEPA and US EPA standards. The cost for this project is about $2.7 million, of which 1.1, as Member Frank pointed out, was funded by ARPA. And then Public Works stepped in and picked up the difference. And we did that because we believed in this project and we wanted to make sure that this neighborhood was provided with great quality water. Typically, we pass this charge and this extra cost for connection fee and construction onto our residents. But again, as I said, we believed in this project and we wanted to make sure that our residents benefited from this. However, at the end of this, when we do change the water source, our residents will see an elevated bill because of the change. So my thanks to a lot of folks who participated in this. And there's a lot of folks behind the scene who committed themselves to making this project a success. Our contractors, our consultants, our Public Works team for their steadfastness and diligence and professionalism, and especially our project manager, Mark Borgal, to make sure that even to the planning of this, we were in the right place. To our board members who we just want to thank them for their leadership and for their constant support of Public Works projects, and to the Village of Buffalo Grove and the Northwest Commission for their partnership and support. And finally, to our residents for their engagement and for their patience with us over the many, many years that they have complained. And today, finally, we're at the place where we're turning the page and we'll be providing them with Lake Michigan water. This project is certainly more than just valves and pipes. It's about a community. And our commitment as an organization to bring quality water and reliable water to a resident who certainly deserves this type of service. And so today, I'm going to invite our servers to come forward, and we're going to invite you to stand with me with a toast to our residents and to great water and to this community. So let's just invite our staff to come forward. And what I want to do is when they come out, and just lift a toast to this great occasion.